but for the first time ever, you have on screen Adaire Palmer, April Roger. Hello, Adaire.
Hey,
April
how
Roger.
you doing? Oh, my voice is going. Oh no. This
Me.
is tragic. No. Oh my Lord. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh,
we are live. I'm just going to make sure that we are live. Are we live? Are we live?
It's saying live on my end.
Right. Okay.
Oh, it's red. Is it supposed to be red or green?
Okay. Well, to anybody watching the replay, welcome. That always catches me when Joel Com does that. One of the first things he does, yeah, we are live. One of the first things he does is to welcome people to the replay.
It's actually a good tip.
Yeah. So welcome to the live show as well. And say hello to Cheryl. And
you're live.
Good, brilliant. Cheryl's wishing us a fabulous week ahead. And unfortunately, though, she's going to catch the replay. Well, not unfortunately. Hi.
So I was like, hello, goodbye.
And we say hello to, well, April. Roy's here.
Hi, Roy.
Hello, Roy.
Brilliant. Right, where shall we start? Now, if you type guest, BLIFBot, which is our own BeLive in 5 bot, is watching the show. And if you type guest in the comments, you can join us on the show. Okay? Which brings us neatly to bots, Adaire. Because you learned something recently, didn't you? You learned something recently about bots?
Oh, the learning curve about bots has been huge. Massive. I get just so excited when I see I don't think I've even got a concept of the full power of what bots can do. And I'm just so excited about integrating what I know about bots into live broadcasts. And what Steven has just done now is, April, did you want to say something?
I was going to ask you. Well, first, am I the only one who hears the echo?
No, I can't hear it.
I can't hear an echo.
No?
Hang on, just a minute. I'm closing everything. I've got a slight echo.
Can you hear the kookaburras?
No, I just hear an echo.
Hello, Brigetti. The gremlins that we normally have on Friday have arrived on Sunday.
I'll see if I can get them in here.
All right. Okay.
They've stopped. Kookaburras are amazing. I love waking up to the sound of kookaburras. Sorry, I'm just getting off on the Australian native animals here. This is so. We've got them in our backyard.
Right. Oh. Right. Okay. Now, words of wisdom from Roy. Who doesn't hear the echo has the echo.
That would be Adaire.
That would be Adaire.
Because she doesn't have earbuds in.
I can't find them. I may have lost them when I went to the live concert on Saturday, but I can't. I was looking everywhere for them. I can do.
Can you improvise?
I improvise.
You turn your speakers down, maybe.
I'm turning them right down.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that better?
Testing 1, 2. Yep, we got it.
A little bit better.
Okay.
Right.
Cool. And my apologies. I haven't used them recently, and actually it's been okay with BeLive. So we'll see how we go.
That's because we've got 4 of us on. 3 in a card and guests on the way. Right. Okay. Now.
Is that better for you?
Yeah, we're good now. Yeah. If you can hear us.
Let me refresh. Maybe it's me.
I expect to ask for the question, April. Yeah, I think bots are amazing, and okay, just a moment. How is it now, Roy? This is live broadcasting, and we are trying everything. And April is back.
Gotta love technology.
You
I'll
have.
refresh.
Okay. Right. So right. The echo's gone, and Adaire's gone too. Ah. Right. Okay. Would this be a good time, April, to? I mean, we all have, in addition to hosting our own shows during the week, we all have groups that we are actively involved in, which we created. And the first of those is net friending. Would you like to explain about net friending?
I don't know. Do you have about 3 hours? No, I'm just teasing.
We'll compromise.
We'll go an hour and a half. Net friending is about friendships first and business-ship second. And what we're doing is meeting and greeting with people live, where in the BLIFBot group, a lot of people come in there and ask a lot of questions and text. And a lot of times I reach out to people. I have a really great example of this.
Okay, yep.
Christy McLaughlin has a page called Mommy Talk Live. It's actually a Facebook watch show.
Uh-huh.
And had I not reached out to her privately after connecting in text, and had I not invited her on our show for a meet and greet, I probably wouldn't be doing 4 shows on her page this coming week. And I met her in person yesterday.
Wow.
Christy? Are you talking about Christy?
Yeah, Christy.
Congratulations. That's awesome, April.
Yay! It was so much fun.
So how did that come about? Sorry, I think I fixed the echo. What I had was the audio coming through. I didn't actually connect it to my webcam audio, so I had the webcam audio open and I had the mic on my computer open as well. So
it's fixed.
I think that's fixed. Tell me about Christy. How did that happen? What? Sorry, I'm probably hijacking the conversation, and you've already talked about it.
No. I don't. There's no. The agenda can go out the window. I don't care. Let's just carry on.
No, Steven was asking about net friending, and I was telling him, what he already knows. But for those playing along at home, friendship first, business ship second. Adaire knows all about this now. But it's reaching out to people and actually connecting and getting to know the person, and not just talking about business and all that live stream techie stuff. It's building relationships. And I've done that with Christy, and I got to meet her yesterday. And I don't think all of that would have taken place had I not reached out to her personally on Messenger and invited her to our show the very same day that we were texting in the BLIFBot group.
That is awesome. The power of this. Overall, it's just amazing. And you're doing 4 shows? 4 shows?
4 shows, yeah.
What's the topic? Do tell.
I don't know yet. I was telling Steven before the show started that I was taking a break from the net friending shows for the week to do 4 shows on Christy's page, Mommy Talk Live, and I said, I don't know what I'm talking about yet.
Oh, okay. So they're probably the best sort, aren't they?
I mean, we've been there, done that, and got a T-shirt. I mean, the thing is, 2 things you've got to do, obviously, turn up on time and finish the show on a high note. I mean, that's it. I mean, what happens in between?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
We just wing it. Yeah.
Yes.
So what do you guys do between your shows when you meet new people? How do you keep the conversations going after you meet somebody new who jumps into your show?
Right. Okay. Ladies first, Adaire.
Oh dear, you're going to regret saying that, Steve. You're going to get a word in sideways, edgeways, upways, downways. We have an amazing network that happens. We're taking Theone Rusianos and myself, as you know, we were doing a show on Be Live in 5, and we now are doing the focusing our energy. She'll probably be here with us, but she's actually got a day job as well for 3 days a week. She works in a law firm, and she's off on. She's probably headed there just about now. So we've started a network called Women in Business Adelaide, and it's actually a network it's net friending. We brought the concept of net friending into Australia. And we have just had our second event that we have met actually physically in person. Mm-hmm. So we have 2 strategies. One is to create whatever happens offline, to create the synergy online, create it offline as well. So when we meet people online, we meet with them offline, and we actually have a dedicated day, which is Tuesdays in the group. It's called Net Friendly. So where our whole focus is on net friendly. Now we actually encourage our female friends to catch up with people, to have coffee. If you're not there in person, we encourage them to have virtual coffee dates where we do one-on-ones with Zoom or with messenger chat. So there's a whole heap of things that happen. We take it into the group. We're sort of still figuring out, because we're fairly new at this, we're still figuring out how to get it from in the group to our business page. We've just set up a business page as well, and we want to do some public stuff that's going to keep the movement happening in the public eye, but we're really focusing on providing and connecting women inside the group. Now, April, I know you were there for Saturday's masterclass that we ran. It was called Show Us Your Undies.
Yeah, okay. Where do you go from?
Sorry?
No, it's okay. Carry on. I'm not.
You want to know how we go from that meeting online to showing your undies?
It seems a new way to network to me, so I'm agog. I'm just waiting to find out.
I'm not quite sure if it'll work in a bloke's group, but we had, it's also the synergy that how this works is so amazing, because it's blending the online with the offline, and it is keeping the connections, building the friendships, but actually tapping into the special gifts that people bring that they've actually been able to monetize. And it's not salesy, it's not weird, it's just beautiful how it all flows. I'm actually getting emotional about it, because when we finished our masterclass on Saturday, there was 4 girls standing in Effie's bedroom with a personal stylist, who Stephanie Vaughan, who actually she was the I don't know if you've got Queer Eye for the Straight Guy type show. It's like a personal branding, personal stylist thing that is on mainstream TV. So this is like a women's type thing, and it's like Show Us Your Undies. And we did the first one Saturday, and I'm thinking, man, this could go on the road, seriously. But the energy that was in the group, and Stephanie gave us so many amazing tips about what we could do with our wardrobe, just by getting everything out of Effie's wardrobe, mixing and matching, giving us some tips, telling us, getting emotional about it is right. It's the energy that was in that room. So what we did was we live streamed it. The girls in the room, we were going to use Be Live, and we're actually going to do it, but I believe that Be Live maybe had a bit of a glitch. So we actually ended up broadcasting it native to Facebook. But I tell you what, if we can get that set up and have I can talk to you about it afterwards, Stephen, because the idea that we had to really make it not 4-dimensional but almost 5-dimensional, where people can come in physically, we can get guests on screen to talk, and then there would be just the whole thing. So it's not just on screen, it was actually really happening in Effie's bedroom. It sounds dodgy. But anyone who's just come in, if anyone who's just come in, it was actually...
I have nothing but clean thoughts. You're okay. No problem.
It was a personal styling session in a closed group. It was called Show Us Your Undies, part of the masterclass series that Fiona Rusnianos and I are holding every...
I think Australia internet is occurring.
We'll leave it a second.
For women in
Adaire,
business,
we have a problem.
Adelaide,
Could you refresh?
in our group. This is what we've done.
Right. Okay. Yes. Okay. I mean, Adaire was in full flow then. But the thing that we shouldn't ever take for granted, April, is good internet.
That's true.
I mean, in where we do, we're blessed with having a reasonable broadband speed, and we should never take that for granted, because in other parts of the world, I mean, the problem with Australia is the infrastructure is just, well, the country's so huge. I mean, Australia could swallow the whole of Europe and have bits left over. So,
well, I won't be moving to Australia anytime soon because I just cannot give up live streaming. I just can't.
Well, I mean, my son and daughter-in-law live in Melbourne, which is, well, it's the same continent as Adaire, but it is a long way away, isn't it?
Oh, it's only an 8-hour drive. Hop, skip, and a jump. If you're flying, it's like this. 1 hour.
Right. Sorry, Adaire, you were explaining. We got to, where did we got to? We got
something about the undies, I think.
Yeah.
Show us your undies. That's what people are going to remember, aren't they? Show us your undies.
That's the takeaway.
Because it was actually explaining. I think the question was about what net friending meant in real life to myself and Theone by bringing it to Australia, bringing the concept to Australia, and what that meant, what that looked like. That was the question, wasn't it, April, that you said? What did that look like?
What do you do between shows? You know, when you have somebody jump into a seat with you, like if somebody were to jump in here right now that none of us knew and we were getting to know them, would we keep that conversation going afterwards? And what would that look like?
Yes. And so that was what we do. There's a whole heap of things that we do. So, and that is like we were at the markets yesterday and selling shoes, would you believe? I sound like a real hustler. But that's another venture that the only I are looking at as well. But as a result of net friendly, but the girl next to us had a stall as well, and we net friended her, and so she cleaned out hers and her husband's wardrobe. She didn't tell her husband, and she has a niece who's has an online business, and so we're talking to her, and her niece is going to join our group now, the Women in Business Adelaide, and it's what we do as part of who we are. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
Well, I don't think Steven probably does any Show Me Your Undies shows. So what is Steven doing?
No, it's the first time I've heard of it. No, basically my way is probably duller than that, really. No, it's just practical. Well, my way is practical. I mean, the thing is that we connect with people during the show, and we're saying amen, Adaire. Basically, after that, the conversation takes place in Messenger. That's where it starts off.
Yeah. Because
we now have the facility to anybody who comments on the show, we can message them directly and start a conversation. And the conversation also takes place in BLIFBot, and it also takes place in the Udemy courses as well. So the conversations are going on all over the place. And they lead to amazing places. I did just yesterday, My thought for the day was, if you see somebody's show and you watch it on the replay, type replay in the comments. I got that idea. Well, it's a crowdsourced idea. So I thought, well, you've got to practice what you preach. So I looked at the shows that were listed for that day. I picked a couple, went to the first one, enjoyed it, typed replay in, and 2 minutes later, I got a message saying, I'd like to have a chat. So it's just basically doing the contact thing creates conversations. And yeah, just type in replay in the comments if you're watching the show on replay. And it brought results for the first time I did it. So, and the second time.
Wow.
And this morning when I woke up, I saw that Steven had typed replay in our show from last night. And I got excited because I've never seen Steven type replay in our show before.
Well, it's just such a simple, it is a simple idea, and it just works. Because the thing is that once we've done the show, we've finished the show, we know everybody who's watching, we know everybody who's commenting, we know everybody who's liking, and we say thank you to Teresa and to Roy, of course. But after the show, once the show's finished, we know people watch the replay, but we haven't a clue who. Have we? There's no way of knowing.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I love it.
A lot of people are doing that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do we know, Steven, that you're actually watching it? You may, because you put it at the 0.00, so maybe you just were like going through 10 videos and just typing.
No. I always watch the first 5 minutes and the last 5, April. I mean, give me that one. No.
There's long, right?
No. So does that mean? Do you know, Steven? If you watch the first 5 minutes and then scrub through to the last 5 minutes, does that mean that you've got all the information, but does Facebook then think you've watched all of it?
No, I'm just teasing. There's no way we could watch every show that's ever listed. No. And basically, I was listening in the background. Like I was listening to Mara yesterday while I was doing something else.
Yes.
So I'm just jossing, really, or jesting, or not. I'm not telling untruths, but I'm being. I'm not watching. Listen, I mean, on Udemy, if you're watching the videos, you can actually speed them up. Yeah, I don't do that because you can't do that on Facebook yet.
No, do you think that would be a good feature to have? So we all sound like chipmunks, but we can. I do that on my Audible and I do that on YouTube for sure. I think that would actually be good to have, so we can.
So what do you think about other people adopting what I've been doing, where we have these really long shows that, as you know, are 3+ hours long? I do my final thoughts at the end, and that way people who come into the show who get to know us will know that I'm always doing my final thoughts at the end and putting it up on the screen so that they can kind of get a recap.
Yeah, there is no. You do the way that fits you best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way that we can critique other people's styles.
I just think if we do really long shows, nobody's probably going to watch 3-4 hours, because I can't be the only one who does 3-hour shows, right?
I actually, that was another question that I had. Does anybody have the statistics on how many people are actually live broadcasting? Because if you go onto the live on Facebook on your PC, or you can see, and I know Teresa's saying not as exciting as watching the whole show. You can see that if there's over 2 billion people on Facebook, that barely anybody is actually using live broadcasting, if those figures are correct.
Well,
I know. Sorry, Steven.
So the only fact that we have is that BLive have 1,000 shows a day.
Well, oh wow, I didn't even know that.
North of that, more than 1,000 shows a day now.
And so, and we don't know how many subscribers BLive have. And there's so many more that don't know about BLive. So, and have you ever been on that map?
On the live map?
So you can go to when you're on your home screen on your PC on the left hand side, you just scroll down to where it says live video, and it shows you where in the world people are live streaming from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I showed a couple of people over the weekend, and in Australia on a Saturday afternoon there were 2 live broadcasts. 2.
They in the whole all of Australia?
If that map is correct, in the whole 24 million people and 17 million of them are on Facebook, 2 live broadcasts.
Well, I'm not surprised, Adaire. You look at your internet there.
There were more.
See?
Yeah, there's no way.
How apropos.
Indeed. Right, I'm gonna mute Adaire for a moment. This is Adaire and Steven live from Tennessee and Wiltshire in England. And is Adaire back yet? I'm just watching.
Yes.
You back? Hello.
Back. Just for you to say.
Okay, good. Right. No, I don't. That map is as useless as a chocolate teapot.
Well, I'd like to know how it works. A chocolate teapot. Oh, that sounds yummy. Chocolate teapot would not be wasted on me, Stephen.
Well, as soon as you try to make tea in it, of course.
No, I wouldn't make it for tea. I'd eat it.
No, I think that map is a great idea, but I don't think it's in any way, shape, or form anything other than an indication of the people that Facebook wants to show. I don't think it's a number of live broadcasters going on at the moment.
I'd love to know if anybody does have some real data behind it, behind the purpose of it, and how we could use it.
Yeah. Well, what's the population of Adelaide?
We're about 1.6 million. So like we're smaller than a medium-sized borough in New York.
Right, but that's still a fair size, and I don't know. Can you not start at the macro level and ask the people in Women in Business Adelaide, and then we could scale up from there?
How do you mean? Ask them what?
Ask them whether they live stream.
Oh, I do. We encourage people to. There was. I was talking to a friend, a colleague who's got some great ideas happening last night, and she said she went to a public speaking seminar, like learn how to public speak. This was not this weekend, but the weekend just gone before, and there was 60 people in the room, and she said, "Who has done?" This would be a sound. Who has
funny how the frames land on the funniest parts
live
of
broadcast about 10 and God, every freeze up.
Yes.
Boy. So where did I get to before I have to vote?
We were talking about, you do ask members of the Women in Business Adelaide whether they live broadcast or not, and then that's roughly where we were.
Okay, so so it just seems to seize up every time I go to speak. So maybe it doesn't like the sound of my voice. So, but I was saying, if I can actually get this little story out quickly, I was talking to a girl last night, and she said there were 60 people in the room at an event she went to last weekend, and the presenter said, "Who here?" Oh, Stephen's gone. Okay.
To go check on the chocolate pot, it might be brewing. I don't know.
That's it. I'm thinking chili chocolate. Anyway, so squirrel. She said 60 people in the room. There was about 10 who live broadcast in the last month.
Okay.
And out of those 10, there were 2 who have live broadcasted in the last week, and both of those are students of mine.
Wow.
That's
yeah.
So that will give you an indication of a snapshot of business people in the room who use Facebook for their business.
Wow.
No one does it. We were at the live concert, Theone and I. We went to the car races and we went to the concert afterwards.
Yeah.
Birds of Tokyo and live. Pretty cool. And I said to Theone, check out how many people are live streaming. There were hundreds of people with their cameras like this. Yeah, Theone and I were the only ones doing Facebook.
It's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's when Adaire gets the punchline.
I know.
So we've heard all the story, and then the punchline comes along. Hello to everybody who's joining us. This is April and Steven with Adaire.
No one else did it.
And our audience is going through the roof now, and we can't hear you, Adaire. Right, okay. Adaire is refreshing. This is the first time we've tried this. We're connecting Tennessee with Wiltshire in England, with Adelaide in Australia, which is why we're out at the time of 4:30 Eastern. Oh, sorry, 5:30. No, yeah, 4:30 Eastern, 9:30 UK, and 8 a.m. Adelaide. So Adaire is just waking up. I'm just about to fall. I'm going to go to bed about an hour after this. I've got a glass of wine, red wine waiting, so I'm good to go. And Adaire, of course, is just waking up in Australia. So this is the only time of day that we can actually do this, because we've got work during the week, haven't we?
We do.
Yeah.
It's dinner time where I'm at.
Well, I was cooking tonight, so it was roast chicken, roast potatoes, carrots, and there's another vegetable there, parsnips.
Well, I'll be right over. Did you see any?
Yes, yeah, there's plenty left. Yeah.
Oh, I'll be right there.
Good. That's one of the things I do enjoy is cooking, because it's a total break. I mean, you can just switch off for half an hour and you can create something. And
I don't know. I think you probably check the Belivers group while you're cooking, right? Because it's so funny. Steven and I will answer the same people's questions at the same exact time, and I'm thinking that's impossible that he's always at his computer.
Not always. No, I mean during the day. Obviously, when I'm programming or doing the Udemy courses, I'm actually not far away. But in the evening, I'm just sat there watching television and of course the message comes up. But I'm getting better. I'm sort of breaking away from it and not doing it automatically. So, I mean, we do normally give the same answer, which is always good. If we were giving different answers and confusing people, and things are just about to get a bit noisier. Peter Stewart is type guest. Well then, Peter.
That's good, because I may have to drop off of here when my son comes in. But
okay, well we'll go for another 10 minutes or so. Or Adaire is with us in 3, 2.
Yeah, Adaire's back.
Yeah. Just waiting for a camera to come through. Ah. When in doubt, go mobile. Welcome back, Adaire.
Yes. Hello. Now, this has worked before when I was on with April and Net Friending, so let's see if it works now.
Yeah,
we're good.
Good. Oh, look, we have 4 real actual people instead of 3 people in a show card.
Good evening, Peter. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Snowed in.
Still?
Yeah, but you know what I came across today? I seen something come up on Facebook, and it was a course, a workshop in how to do live streaming in my city. So I booked on, and I thought, well, they're going to have a lot of good information there. Then I found out who it was. It was quite interesting. It's an independence movement for Scotland, and they're going to be showing them how to use live videos and cameras and everything for live streaming to get their message across. Now, Stephen knows that I don't believe in their particular views, but I would have still went in and found out what they were saying. But it's quite interesting. People are out doing it out there, and we don't know. I don't know who they were, but I found out now.
Right. So it's being used for political purposes?
Well, it's an independence movement in Scotland, and they're going to... basically, it was a free workshop, and it was to show them how to use live streaming for interviewing people, and obviously with their angle to it. So there was somebody going to be training in that, a news type person, and then there was somebody that deals with cameras and things outside broadcasting was going to teach. I would have went along, and I would have been an independence man for a day. So I found out what was happening.
In disguise. Peter, have you met Adaire and April?
Yes, I have.
You know them both. Good.
I met them all a while back, yeah.
Yeah, good. Right. I'm just making sure. I just want to be sure on that. There is a backstory to this, because as Peter just said, it's being used for politics, encouraging people to use live video to actually promote a political party. And the backstory to this is that there was a vote that Scotland should leave the United Kingdom. And what happened with that vote, Peter?
The vote was that we actually stayed within the United Kingdom. But it's just like Brexit. It still goes on and on and on and on and on. And any opportunity that brings up the subject, that's what. So they're going to be using live streaming again to get their message across. You know? It's quite interesting. Now, I've got a friend who's on tonight. Every night he runs his karaoke, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I tell you, he puts it live every so often. People up there singing and everything, and I'm surprised Facebook hasn't taken it down by now.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
the singing's probably that bad that they can't recognise it. That's if I was doing karaoke.
So I used to do it when I run the karaoke. I put it on as well, and nothing happened. But I'm not going to do that.
My brother does pub gigs, and he does covers all the time. And they don't. You got to be sort of reasonably okay to do pub gigs. Yeah. And they Facebook actually they don't take it down.
Do they not? Okay.
No.
Why?
I think we know someone else that's got a radio station as such. He goes on and plays music. I'm surprised he gets away with that too, but there you go.
Well, I'm surprised about that, because I know my sister she's on community radio, and she's got they play Christian music. She's got Suan Super Sunday. She's in a small country area, but they're worried about the licensing of the music to go public through Facebook. But I would love to see them figure that out and bring their radio live streaming through Facebook. I think that could, like, community TV and community radio would just be a huge boon.
Oh yeah,
if they could get their act together.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I found out today. Have you heard of Peter Stewart?
I think I have.
I'm Peter Stewart, right?
There's another one. There are two of them.
But there's two of
them. I think. Yeah. So there's lots of you.
So Peter Stewart, he was on tonight at 7 and with Krishna. And what I found out tonight was, I didn't know this, you're not allowed to record a program and then put it out as though it was live. They don't allow that, Facebook. Were you aware of that?
Yep.
I didn't know that. Huh?
But I thought you can as long as you say that it was recorded live.
Yes,
Yeah.
You could have a caption on it.
Quite
Just a
interesting.
description.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that marketers do, isn't it? Is that they pretend to be live.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't either. I think it's wrong. Plain wrong.
Yeah.
so who pretends to be live?
No, you're not allowed.
No, we've moved on. We know Peter, the other Peter Stewart was saying you should market, and we're happy with that. But
Yeah.
I do know of people. I'm not going to name names, but
Okay, I
do
think
know
you said
people
that.
who play a recorded video as if it was live.
And pretend they're live. Oh yeah, that's not authentic.
No. Yeah.
And
No.
it's more like it's more like the webinar approach, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it is. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as you're not pretending that you're live.
So
I don't understand, why do people do that with live when live is I mean, you could just as easily put up a video and that's recorded. Why use the live environment?
yeah.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Can I share it?
Yeah.
My theory is, and I've worked with some people who want everything perfect. They want everything scripted. They want to have no mistakes. So anything that said that, like that goes wrong, they can edit out. And this is because, and I find the ones that are particularly the most anxious about going live and being raw and being authentic and having mistakes happen are the ones who are the traditional marketing people, or from mainstream TV who just can't cope with not being in control. And there's a huge element of not being in control when you are live. No. There are so many moving parts.
But so they want people to believe that they're live and perfect rather than be recorded.
Yes, this is my theory. I could be wrong, but
I think you're right. For us, I'm different. I love to go live. I just like going for it. When I go on, I'm just going for it. And sometimes I ramble on, and but that's the way I like it. Now, as Stephen told you about the new program I'm going to be a new show that I'm going to be doing with my business.
I haven't had the chance, Peter.
Have you not?
No. Would you like to do it now?
So what we're going to do is, I've got a pest control business, right, an exterminator's business, and my intelligent guy, I'm taking my intelligent guy on with me, and we are going to have the Meet the Mousy Men show and Pest Rock. And we're going to talk all things pest control, starting off who we are, how I got into the industry, how Robin got into the industry, and then build it up and say next week we're going to talk about mice and then rats and then different types of insects and how we do it, and just build it up.
Perfect. I love it.
Meet the Mousy Men.
I think I spelled it right.
I love it. I think that's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
you're a shining example, Peter.
Sorry?
I said you're a shining example of how to cleverly use this platform to help people.
What we've done in the early days is I actually made videos in my van, the two of us in the van, hats, got 11,000 views in the local area, and people know us, they still wave to us and everything. So we're going to have a live show talking to the business and the public and repeat it. And
I'm working with a real estate agent right now. We've just started working together last week, and I'm going to be encouraging her to do live broadcasts for open inspections.
Yeah,
before
great idea.
Before the people come in, because like I said, nobody's doing it.
No.
Or a small fraction of this is greenfield stuff, and we have got huge opportunity.
Yeah.
Huge opportunity. Yeah.
So are you going to go out with them, or are you going to go out and you're going to come through your system?
I'm going out to do some training with them, but ideally I want to have them equipped to be able to do their own.
Yes.
So it's like that teach a man to fish type approach. So it's probably not good for a long-term business thing.
No, I hope you're getting some shekels for it as a consultancy.
Totally am.
That's what we need now, shekels. We've given away too much for nout. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just starting to realise the value of what I know. So Roy and April through the net friending movement have really helped move my thinking in terms of that around how valuable people are, and I'm actually able to translate that into, what did you call them? Shekels?
Shekels.
Get some shekels for that. Where's my shekels?
Yeah.
Again, Stephen, I remember there's no free lunch, right? And I got a call at about 7 o'clock in the morning. Ping, Peter, there's a free space today. There's a free lunch. Someone's dropped out. And when I turned him there, he says to me, "What are you going to talk about?" I said, "What do you mean, what am I talking about?" He says, "That's why you're getting the free lunch." So and I give a talk. I asked the question, who here, because it was all small business people, just you about 5'5", and I said to them,
"That's how tall I am."
I'm 5'5". So no, but they were all mainly women being self-employed in different business, and I put the question to them: who is using video in their business? None of them. I says, if I was to give you £10,000 right now to put an advert on the local television station, would you take it? But the only thing is, you had to appear in your own advert. Would you do it? And they all said yes. I says, yeah, you're not using it for free.
Yes!
It's true.
Yes!
It's true. And do you know, and what I liked the next day, but what I liked the next day, one got in contact with me, "Thank you very much for what you said." And I said, "What did you learn?" And she come back with a 10-point plan of the things I had mentioned. So that was great. And that's what Stephen and I, we've just learned it ourselves all over. So me thinks I better get a course up and running.
Can I just say something? Share with you, Peter.
What's that?
Because I love your accent.
Right.
I love your accent. You said, and this is what I heard: if I gave you 10 thumbs and bums, would you put and I'm going, why would you want 10 thumbs and bums?
I'll have to see it. If I
love it. I am so glad. I'm so glad you repeated that, because then I heard £10,000.
And I thought I was expressive with it. I thought I was putting it over clearly.
You got my attention.
On the undies, I think.
See, when I first started in business in 1986, I went to a network, and a guy from there was from the BBC, and he said to me, I spoke up at the thing. He says, "Where's the pest control man?" I said, "That's me." He says, "How would you like to come on to radio and describe your job as you're doing it?" I says, "Yes, I'd done that, no problem." And then the next thing, the television company phoned me, and then I went on to the television, and then I went on to national television, and then I went on to, and I've been on TV quite a few times now, and it's amazing. And it's the opposite way around now. I'm trying to show people how to come on, but can I get them to face that camera? No. Anyway, I'm usually
it's the same the world over, Peter. It's the same the world over. We've got private groups set up so that people can do. They're called video visibility, and they're called the 5-day video challenge, and they're called. There's people setting up, trying to encourage people to get over themselves.
Yeah. Do you remember me? Because it's a while since I spoke to you. Do you remember me?
Who could forget you, Peter?
No, they have.
I remember the accent.
Do you remember the
Was it?
talking?
I think it was with David Burrows, wasn't it?
Do you
It
remember
was, yeah.
the Talkinator?
Yeah.
Do you remember
Right.
the Talkinator?
The Talkinator.
Yes.
That was me. April, do you remember?
It was David Burrows. I'm sure
It was
you were
David,
with.
yeah. In Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Right.
I remember when you two came on here at the beginning, because if I remember correctly, April, are you something to do with autistic kids?
Yes, my son.
There you go. I remember that talking to you, and then you is it Adaire?
Right.
Yes.
You come on and run about one of my first shows, and that's about a year ago now.
Peter,
Wow.
I've got somebody I'd like you to meet
Okay.
who's waiting patiently in the lobby.
Okay.
And,
Do you want, Stephen? I'll go because I've got a client who's waiting patiently for me to phone her. So she's given me grace of half an hour.
Okay.
So I'm going to go. But look, let's do this again. It's so much fun, and we've always got so much to talk about.
We must. And
Thumbs and bums.
Well, tell you what, do.
Thumbs and bums.
No, we'll take it in turn to host, yeah? And then
Perfect.
we all get to see what it's like to be a guest. Okay?
Beautiful.
Right.
All right.
So
That's perfect.
bye for now.
Bye.
Right,
Bye.
and we'll say goodbye to Adaire, and we're joined by Elaine.
Elaine.
Oh, yes, Peter.
That's
And in a moment, we should be 3, 2. There we are. Magic. Hello, Elaine.
fine.
Hey, at last I am sharing space with April Roga. We knew the perfect day would come.
No, and I have to wait a few minutes because my son will be home any second.
Well,
Right.
it's still all perfect, you know.
I know.
Anyway, it was really interesting tuning in a few minutes ago and hearing all of these lovely accents going on. You know, when the British Isle accents of all their great variety are happening, you do have to listen closely. It's a good thing for accents to be there. Whatever it takes to make you pay attention better is a good thing. Now, yesterday, April, I think you were watching the same thing I was. It was Mari Smith at her Facebook business briefing. Stephen, you were there too. I
was, yes.
You know about that.
Yeah.
And it's such fun listening to Mari because she's got her little Scottish thing going on, and it's so cute. And of course, all the time, she's got a cute little hair clip. And I see Roy Montero. Roy, it's been quite a while since I've talked with you, but I met Roy through Christine Bowen a couple of years ago when I was early on doing Google Hangouts, and Christine was friends with Roy, and we had a conversation. So anyway, yeah, it's great seeing Roy still popping up, as invisible as ever, but vocal as ever, and we love Roy. Being Roy. Anyway, it's good to be here, folks.
You're most welcome.
Afternoon.
Elaine, meet Peter Stewart from Aberdeen in Scotland. Peter Stewart from Aberdeen in Scotland. Please meet Elaine.
We've met before.
We did.
Good. We did
No,
on
I
the
was
show the other day. My memory's failing. It's getting late at night here.
Hey, we're in this territory, Stephen, where, memory gets a little fuzzy. And you do so many shows, you have so many guests. Well, of course, you're not going to remember everybody who is paired up with who. I wouldn't expect that. So, yes. Hi, Peter.
Oh, I've got
Hi, Stephen.
something to show you.
Okay, I'll put you full screen, Peter. I'm trusting you here.
Yeah, because I can't see Peter
Ready?
from my
Ready?
dashboard yet.
Motion Scene 1. The Mousy Men Show, scene 1.
Peter?
That was like a mouse trap.
Peter, I've got to admit something here. I never thought I would. I've got one of those.
I picked that up today at the shops. I was like, this is just what I'm wanting, you know, for any outtakes or anything like that. It's amazing using little gadgets like that. It just does something to the show, you know, just different things.
You've got to do something so that people notice you and remember you.
Yeah, always got to stand out from the crowd. What you got? Boom. Yeah. I better go and get my Louis Walsh mask.
We're coming towards the end of the show, Peter. Perhaps next time when April is hosting the show, it will be similar time, April, Sunday night, 9:30, 4:30?
Yes, 4:30.
4:30, it'll be 4:30 Eastern. And of course, Peter and Elaine, you're both invited back. Which would be good. And we're joined by and Steve Bate from Blackpool, and Peter knows where Blackpool is. He got one at Universal Studios in Florida. So
Steven has to go because there's a glass of wine waiting for him. I can see he's like really wanting that wine right now.
Yeah, I just want to take a point from early before we sign off, if I can find it. And it was Brigetti saying, Stephen Healy, where did you get that suntan? It's all the lighting in the lighting, Brigetti. I've been waiting to answer that for ages. Peter and Elaine, thank you for joining us. And as I say, we will have more shows like this on a Sunday in future. And April, what should we do now?
Say goodnight, Lucy.
Right, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and
good night, Ricky.
Take care. We'll see you all again soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.